When taking photographs, it can be confusing for beginners to determine why their photos don't look as good as some they see by other artists. A lot of that has to do with how you are framing your images. So, let's go over what to keep in mind when shooting portrait and landscape photography. Starting off with portraits, one of the most important things to keep in mind is what you're shooting for. In this instance, we'll be shooting a portrait for a business, maybe for a bank or a realtor. While lighting and posing the subject are very important in a good portrait, where the subject is in the frame and what the background looks like are also key to a successful image. Notice the grid across the screen. That is used for something called the rule of thirds. The idea of the rule of thirds is to place your focus of the image at one of those four intersections. With this example, we will have the subject standing towards the side of the frame, at the top left intersection point. If the subject is facing towards the very edge of the frame, it can feel very claustrophobic and unnatural. Now that we have the subject where we want them, let's see what backdrop looks best. Not bad, but it might be a little too elegant for a business like this. Again, not bad. This would be great for an interview or a tech-related business, but not quite what we're looking for. Close, maybe a bit too grunge. Now that's what I'm looking for. Fairly plain, but not too boring. Muted colors, but not too dull. That looks great. Now, let's head outside where we can really get creative with it. Here we are looking at a really beautiful setting. We have mountains that show very nice, natural depth, a large field, and a clear blue sky. This photograph alone would be quite nice, and it's sure to get you some likes on Instagram, but I think we can do better. The first thing we want to do is find the angle that best suits the story we're trying to tell with this photo. Coming back to the idea of the rule of thirds, we want to find the most balanced image using that grid as a guideline. Now we'll pull back just a little bit just to get the full scope of those mountains. I think that looks great. But what if we waited for some clouds? Now that's better. But what if we had a model come into place to really get the story across? Great, but where do we want him? Go left? Nope. Back up? Too far. Wait, stop. Perfect. Now I think we're looking a lot better. The poles in the ground lead the eye to the model, which leads the eye exactly to the mountains in the sky. But there's one more thing I think could take this to the next level. And boom, a sunset. Now this is something I can get behind. Maybe you think it would look better close up, or without a model, or on a sunny day, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I wanted those things. And that's the most beautiful thing about photography to me. We can tell whatever story we want, and sometimes we can tell an entirely different story with just a few minor changes, like where the subject is standing, or what backdrop you use, and something as much as waiting for the sun to go down can change the entire feeling of an image. All in all, these are just tips to be aware of when you're out there shooting, but keep in mind, if photography is something you really love or just want to find your way into, then just go do it and enjoy doing it.